Hi, everybody. This is Tanisha Biz with True Beauty TV. I am so excited to be on today. We are really having a great day. Today, we are with our book winner, Miss Vanessa Canteberry. She is the author of the best-selling author of Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness. And I got my book in the mail. I started reading it, and I'm telling you, it's off the chain. I love it. Love to hear her testimony and in her book. And I just wanted to really just introduce who she is. Miss Vanessa, how are you today?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for, jumping on our TV here and talking about and also our podcast and talking about your amazing book.
It's such an honor. This is like my baby that I've been holding on for so long, and I am so glad that this book is out, and just to be able to hear the testimonials from people that's reading the book from around the world is like blowing my own mind, even though I went through it, but you just never know who else is going through it as well.
Yes. So, Ms. Vanessa, as I was reading your book, your chapter 1, it says, "My thoughts ran wide, but my pain ran deeper." I just love that title right there. It just, and as I begin to read it, I begin to see in here that when you was a young child, you moved a lot, and could you explain to us, like, what that made you feel like? Because people don't really understand that when you move a lot, it can affect the child. It can affect you and how you think. So if you could just kind of explain that to me.
Well, yeah, we moved a lot. We moved a lot. I come from a single mom, and so being a single parent by itself, that's my goodness, that's hard. And so you move so much where it leaves you at a place where you feel lonely. You feel a place that, just always having your mind, never get comfortable where you lay your head because you never know if you're going to be uprooted again. Too afraid to be able to make those connections with anybody, starting from childhood friends, people you go to church with, even, your classroom friends. You just never know. And so this is what you get is normal to you, even though it's not normal, but it's normal. And so that can affect you. That can really affect you because those things that, moving around in my childhood, it was like, how do you learn how to make friends, being a teenager or even being an adult? How do you make friends? You know what I mean? Because they already built their relationships and now you're coming on in and you have no history of having someone that you grew up with that you could be able to say, oh, I know, I've been through these things. I got some experience where I could be able to share and, good and bad. So it really messes with you. It really messes with you a lot.
Yes, I can imagine. I can imagine as a child going through those situations. And as I begin to read even more in your book, it starts to get really good because it talks about how you slept on the floor in the living room while your mother slept in another part of the apartment. Mm-hmm. And then I believe one day your family friends saw you guys sleeping on the floor and that made them upset, and I think people don't understand that everybody have a story. We all have a story. It's not like it's peaches and roses. We didn't grow up with a silver spoon in our mouth, you know what I mean? Right. And even if you grew up with a silver spoon, you still have a story. So that really stood out to me because it made me reflect on my own situations and some of the things that I've walked through. So, even though moving for you was like, how are we gonna make friends? How are we gonna connect with these people? Sleeping on the floor could have did something as well. What at that moment as a child, I know we don't really get a chance to think about that as a child, but as a child, where was you at? You know what I mean? In your place. How would you feel? Like, I really want to know.
That was crazy to me because it's like, wait a minute, how you in the bed and we over here?
Right.
That's the way I look at it now that when I'm older and I'm just like, but this stuff comes from somewhere. It comes from somewhere because this is not just a thing you just do overnight. This comes from somewhere. And so I don't know the true background because, people don't share their family history, their family ties, their family dysfunction, their family anything, right? They just, brush it over and just said, okay, whatever, this is your auntie, this your uncle, this is, all that. But this came from somewhere that gave the impression that this is okay, right? And so
Yes.
now you have gave this preconceived notion that it's okay again now with your own children. And so when somebody else come in from that's on the outside to be able to see this taking place, they're like, wait a minute, hold on, that is not okay. But what if that person didn't come in and say that's not okay? Then you will go ahead and now you'll repeat that same cycle that somebody done taught her, that now you're going to be able to teach who? Your children, right?
Absolutely.
And so it was all it does is take one person to be able to say, hold on now, that's not okay. And so that helped to be able to understand that the bed is for the bed, and if you in a bed, they all need to be in a bed. If anybody's going to be on the floor, it should be you and not these babies. But hey,
exactly.
That's you just go along with it. You a child. You have to go along with it, and that's what I did.
Exactly. That's what you said here. You said that what you could do, but do as you're told. And you said, you have to do as you're told, because as a child, you question your parent, some of us get backslapped, you know what I mean? And so some of us get put in the corner. Now, I don't know too many people that would have got put in the corner, but, or be on punishment and things like that. So as a child, growing up, you did as you was told. And, and as we just kind of move forward with the book, I would really love the chapter 1, because you talked about being let down. And I think even a lot of us in the beauty industry, we can attest to that. We can see that, there's times when we've been let down. We have our hopes and our expectations up, as we open up clinics or salons, and they don't pull together like we think they should. Or we got a 10 boots, salon, and we said we're going to rent these stations out. And it don't happen that way. So you understand what being let down is. If you could just kind of give us some motivation with those letdowns, as you wrote in your book, that you was let down with people not showing up and not being people of their word.
Well, let down comes from people that should have been there that was not there. Let down is they leave you in a place where you're so vulnerable, and now you go around doing the same thing as hurting other people. It could be intentionally, and then it could be non-intentional. Who knows? But it don't feel good. And so now you turn around, like you said, you're in the beauty industry, but people cover it up with hair, makeup, and nails. That's not going to solve the issue. The issue is you got some pain up in you. You choose not to, face that pain. So now you turn around and put your makeup on, your hair on, and you got the smile on your face, but deep down inside you are hurt, you broken, you got questions, and now you turn around and you lash out on other people. You know what I mean? Then you get this standoff thing where you don't trust anybody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So now you have this whole dysfunction in your own mind of building this wall, because now you feel that everybody's going to do the same thing, that those people that should have been there choose not to be there, but everybody's not like that. So I'm a believer that if you get deep in yourself and face the situations that hurt you, left you broken, and even if that means you have to sit down with that person and say, look, this hurt me, you should continue to do this. And if that person chooses not to be able to own that stuff, and most likely not trying to be funny, they will not own it. They won't. But at least you got that off of you. Get that monkey off your back so you could be able to start healing yourself.
Exactly. And I love that, because this is even leading into my next point, is that is the fact that when you get into finding out who you are, it's kind of scary, because you have to in order to really find out who you are, you have to let the things in the past go. So that can be kind of scary to people. It can kind of be something new and something different. Mm-hmm. And I like what you had just said, but this leads into my next portion, where you talked about you got more personal with your book, and you got into the fact that you was violated. and
Mhm.
how you were violated. And I think a lot of times, like I said, it's scary to go into our past to dig up some of the things that have been buried, that we buried deep, and we figure we're not going to get it out. And I think even in the beauty industry, we hold those things in, and it causes us or it hinders us, and we have this competition type thing where it's all about us. We're in a world by ourselves when we're really in a world together, and we're here to help each other. And so it causes a separation because of those things that we kept down buried inside. So you said, I hated, excuse me, you said there were people who came around after with the freedom to walk around the house as if they was, whatever they want to do. And somebody touched me in places that scared me and at the same time terrified me enough to not speak about it. And you said, I hated everyone for allowing this mess to happen to me. And I think with your book, number one, being a bestseller, how did, of course, when you was in this situation, you didn't look at it as you was going to write a book. But looking at it now, how does this connect with the beauty industry, or, with the beautypreneurs, people who are in the beauty industry?
Well, it connects because the violation happens in every type of way, shape, form, and fashion. It doesn't have to be sexually. It doesn't have to be from the family ties of just, being mentally, physically, and emotionally abused. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It comes from so many range. It's wide, it's range. And that's why the title is called what it's called. It's huge. This is a huge opening for the first chapter. You're violated in so many type of ways that if somebody said, let me, can I use your flat irons to be able to, just for a second for this client because mine's went out or mine's not getting hot enough or whatever the case may be, you feel violated because I'm not sure if I don't know you like that. I'm afraid to know you like that. But if I let you use my stuff, you're going to turn around and take advantage of me now. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that right there is because you have not dealt with whatever caused you to feel this way. Now you are in the industry, in life, in personal or professional. Now you done took this mess with you, right? So now that you done took this mess with you, you over here point a finger blaming everybody else because you feel the way that you feel. No. You need to really point the finger at yourself and say, okay, hold on. This person, address whoever that person may be, who started this mess, right? And so you could be able to heal. You cannot heal from what you're not willing to face.
Amen. I really agree with that. You are so right, because we could be, I think we can get so far in this industry and we can have so many great accomplishments. And when we get to the height of, success, this stuff hits us in the face. So I love the fact that you opened your book up with that, because this is talking about evaluating who you are and putting that in the beginning of you in order to move forward. Any type of relationships, any type of business deals, you're going to still walk in this past where it's going to hinder where you're growing. And going into that, it said my God, I mean, it talked about how you were picked on in school and forgotten about in your own home, but yet as a child, you wasn't able to be a child because you was taking care of other people. You was taking care of children.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that feels like. I tell my kids, now they're little young adults, I tell them, go and live. I don't know what it is to be a teenager. I have not a clue. What does that feel like? I don't know. I missed it. And then turn around, I was a teen mom. So my life was like really fast. I was a mom before I turned to mom, and then turn around, have these children. And then one thing after another, now here I am raising my children. That's my sole focus. And so now here I am. It's so many opportunities of being able to live my life, to get to know me, to be able to heal. I basically grew up with my children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I grew up with them. You know what I mean? And they
Mm-hmm.
had to be able to try to figure like what is going on with mom. And I wasn't perfect, but when I look back at the relationship that I have with my children from the time that I have my relationship with my parents, it's night and day. It's not an A. So the whole point of it is that somebody got to be able to take that leap to be able to break that cycle. Somebody to take that leap to say, you know what, I don't want to hurt no more. Somebody to take that leap to say, you know what, you hurt me over time and time again, but I'm going to love you from a distance, and I'm going to be okay with that because I know my heart, and my heart right now is broken because you continue to break my heart time and time again, and I no longer want you to do this. And I got these babies, and these babies are looking at me, they're depending on me, and if I'm going to be able to be the best person I know I can be, I need to distance myself from the dysfunction that you continue to present every time I come around you, every time I speak to you, every time I look at you, you look down at me. That's not what I need. And so I have to be able to be real with it. And I have to be able to remove myself from those people that continue to hurt me time and time again because you draining me. And so now I need to go back and be a parent to these children. I can't be a parent to them. Really? Because I allowed you to drain me? I have to take back my power and own my power, embrace my power, and love on my power so I could be the greater version that Vanessa you have here today.
Absolutely. And you got to a point in your life, you're a single mom, you're taking care of your children, raising them, even though your life was different, you know, and I'm quite sure that you had to make sure you had to feed your children, you had to make sure that you took care of them. At what point in your life did you realize that you couldn't settle for average?
When the same thing that happened in the previous comment, I no longer continue to keep doing this because I can't beg you to love me. You know what I mean? I cannot beg you to love me. And because you don't love yourself enough to be able to love me, you're not willing to be able to deal with your own stuff to be able to soul me. You know what I mean? I had to be able to say, I can't point the fingers. I can't depend on them. I need to look at me. So I had to remove myself from that box.
And that's really good. That's really good because when you removed yourself, it allowed you to see who you was and allowed you to build on who you are without everybody else. Because if you was to sit there and watch everybody else, then you would lose who you was in the process.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And you even said that your purpose wasn't to dwell on any hurts and pains. And you have people that have went through violations in life. They went to whether it's sexual abuse, rape, whether it's physical abuse, and they're still stuck. They're still in that stuck because you don't realize that your life is valuable. And I love you said, it's not my purpose to dwell on the hurt and the pain throughout my life, but to pray for them, and to take a deep approach to healing myself so I don't repeat the tragedy in my own household. I love when you said that. Could you just kind of elaborate just a little bit on that?
It was different things that continued to show up. And, you know, a new year, it would show up. A new month, it would show up. And it was still the same. And it just kept taking me back to that childhood that left me feeling that way of being broken, let down. And so I turned around and I was like, I know who I am. You know what I mean? I know me now. You know what I'm saying? I know the whole me now. I'm not the definition of what you want me to be. And I'm okay with that. And you may not like the direction that I'm going in my life. But remember, this is my life. Like, you have the opportunity to do whatever you want to do in your life. But I have to do what I need to know that's best for me and mine. Because I can't be the best mom I could be if I continue to be over here and wake up, breathe, connect with, rub against all this dysfunction of bitterness. And I don't want that. So I had to be able to say, Vanessa, you got to do the work on you. You have to say, Vanessa, you know what? You got some messed up stuff in your life. Your childhood broke you down so bad. And if you don't own it, you're going to break these kids down just like you're broken. And so I have to, you know, I say this so many times. You have to allow yourself to be broken in order for you to be blessed. You cannot pick and choose what you want to be broken from, just like you can't pick and choose what you want to be blessed with. I wanted it all because why? I want to know what it feels like, experience, and I know that I have more within me. But I have to be able to say, I'm broken.
Exactly. And so just to close out this, the chapter 1 read for this week. So before we close out our chapter 1 read for this week, I would like to know if you can leave some words of encouragement to the beauty professional, who might be still dealing with some past issues and it's causing or hindering their progression in the beauty industry.
Well, if you want to be beauty, be willing to do the beauty from within, not on the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense? Because we too busy making everybody else pretty and covering up their scars, but you have some scars so that run so deep inside of you as well. And then you covering up with all your makeup and everything else and think that's going to be okay for your clients. But when you go back home and you close that door, when you turn that light on, who's the person that you're facing? Is this what you really want to continue to carry on to the next client, the next month, next year, and then to be able to not really deal with yourself wholeheartedly? So take a moment and just be able to address your issues and say, you know what, I got some straight issues, because we all do. But sometimes some issues will block our blessings in ways of having that person who's supposed to be in our life. Even if in marriage, in next chapters in business, in whatever the case may be, you block your blessings because you choose to build this wall up where there's nothing could come through to be able to help you, to help them, to be able to help both of you guys to come together and be able to build something that's absolutely amazing. Link arms with those people that's been down that road and won't judge you because you're going through it. But they came through it and they're willing to be able to come with you and say, you know what, I got you. Because there's somebody out there to say that's been down that road. But you'll be surprised if you just open up your mouth, open up your heart just a little bit, and then it'll help you along the way to be able to heal what left you broken, will heal them scars and stop, putting stitches on it, but then the stitches are popping open because, again, you're not healing with it all the way. You got to face that thing. You got to deal with that thing, and you got to own that thing.
Mm. So guys, listen, this is our book read, our day 1 with our book read, Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness with Miss Vanessa Canteberry. And I'm telling you, I am so full right now. My thoughts ran wide, but my pain ran deeper. We are closing out our chapter 1 read and hope to see you next week as we start with chapter 2, Planting Seeds.